that God created us.
And welcome back to the JNS podcast here live in Jerusalem in the most beautiful building. We are so fortunate here to be with Yossie Hollander. Yossie, you've been telling me about what you do and then what you do and what you do again. So you are the chairman of Israel Institute for Economic Planning. You fight and combat anti-Semitism. You work within Holocaust engagement. Tell me more.
I've started my career in high tech. I programmed first in 1969, and then first time I went public was 92 in NASDAQ. So I sold my first company in 99. So I've sold a lot of companies since then, but back in 2000 decided that I'm going to devote most of my time and money to philanthropy, and that's what I've been doing since.
What projects speak to you? What do you find that you invest most in?
I'll give you a couple. So one of the things I've helped start is the largest Holocaust education program in the United States.
Wow.
It's called Echoes and Reflection. It's a cooperation of Yad Vashem, ADL, and Shoah Foundation. And we trained last year about 50,000 teachers. So that's kind of something.
Just teachers from across the globe in public school?
Yeah, mostly
across the country in public school?
Across the country, mostly public, of course. Most of the country is public, yeah. Not Jewish school, mostly non-Jewish school. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's kind of things.
What do you hear their takeaways normally from their training, and how do they implement it?
So, the more issue is that is it effective or not, because there's been an argument whether Holocaust education is effective or not. We actually did a study in universities, compared people's behavior to people who went through Holocaust education or did not go through Holocaust education. And actually, there's a significant difference between people who went for Holocaust education and people who did not.
There must be. There has to be.
There is. Well,
as a granddaughter of a Holocaust survivor,
right?
We were just talking about this Shabbat. It is most important not only to discuss it, but to learn the facts before we can't learn them anymore.
But that's what you would think, but you still have to measure it.
It's true.
So
they're measurable.
We did. So we did. It's literally, we have to measure. We think it is, but some people say, no, look, there's anti-Semitism. That means it wasn't there. No, because it's only part of a bigger system that you have to do. But it is important to do.
And what about professors on college campuses?
Well, that's a whole different issue, okay, of course. Most of them, our universities in general have been inflicted not just with anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is just a byproduct of
and it didn't just start on October 7th. This was long before. I taught a course combating anti-Semitism to high school students long before.
We used to have 30% of the faculty being conservative and 70% liberal, so to speak, whatever that means.
Whatever that means, yes.
Okay, but now it's about 2-3% conservative. So your ability to actually get a variety of opinions on campus have disappeared. And it's more than that because the liberals are even more extreme than they were before.
So what do we do, Yossie?
Well, so one of the things is we as a civil organization can't do. We can't do what the government is doing. We can't shut down their money flow.
No.
Okay?
No.
The government
within reason, what can we do?
So we need to do where we can operate together with the government. So we can file lawsuits. Okay? We can increase education. ADL has issued a rating system for universities, and people can decide, for example, that they're not sending their kids to school.
Does that affect enrollment at that school? And is that,
No, they can, for example,
answer?
not give any donations anymore. You can basically, eventually, the school will respond to financial pressure, other pressures, or not, and stay whatever they are. I don't think Columbia will ever respond to non-government pressure because they receive 60% of their revenue from foreign students.
But finally, there's some sort of pressure going on to these schools. It had to have happened a long time ago, and it's only starting now. So
it's only the government. Only government can have enough.
But what do we do about the tenured professors?
I think we should I believe the tenure system was established originally to protect free speech. Well, right now there's no more free speech in universities. You cannot express conservative opinions, for example, in the universities. If you bring it, they have the council, they demonstrate, they cancel the lecture, etc. So basically the whole idea of the tenure system is now used against free speech. So we have, I think, seriously to look, I didn't say cancel, I said, but you have to look at the whole idea of how tenure works and what do we do. I think that the universities should have now a correction mechanism that will hire for the next 20, 30 years only conservative, so we can have a balance back.
What happened to background checks?
There's not such a thing. There's no. They don't care. I mean, they actually want it. I call it the Baader-Meinhof effect.
The what? Say again.
Okay, so Baader-Meinhof. Back in the 90s, in the 70s, sorry. Early and 70s, etc.
Yeah.
Anyway, 69, 70, there was Baader-Meinhof was a terror group in Germany.
Okay.
And it was also Danny the Red and the student riots in France.
Yes.
They were all defeated. But then they couldn't find any job anywhere in Europe, so they went to the universities. That's the only place they did. And slowly they started to climb up the ladder, and they became the one that hired. And they started hiring all the communists, and then it affected here. And now we basically have a whole university that is not representative anymore of the world.
It's true, and people think that if there's one protest there, the whole world around them is protesting. No, it's that one little area.
Right.
And that's what the media does. What do you think about that?
Well, media makes a living out of controversy, not out of good
showing
things.
happy feelings.
Happy
Correct.
feelings. No, never.
No.
So of course they're going to look for any controversy, but there's also money involved. Okay, so there's Qatari money involved. There's other money involved. So people, the media, each one caters to its own audience.
Yes,
okay?
absolutely.
So and they're actually emphasizing whatever they want to emphasize in that audience. So. If CNN is doing something, CNN is basically beholden to Qatar in a certain audience.
You really think so?
No. Depends how you want to define it, okay? But CNN represents a certain audience, okay, and it caters to a certain audience. Definitely not to the same audience that Newsmax does, okay? Which
we agree.
Right. That's it.
Okay, so now just to shift a bit. What key economic policies do you think Israel should focus on to ensure long-term security and prosperity amidst the rising regional tensions?
So, Israel has one strength no other OECD country has, and that's number of kids. We're the only OECD country with positive growth.
Now we found the positive news.
Yes, it's very positive.
But only on JNS.
No, I'm sorry. The Israel economy is generally positive, okay? Israel has tons of economic problems that needs to be solved, but I will never want to replace the economic problem we have here, let's say, with the one they have in France. They don't have any kids. Their future is nothing. They're going to nowhere.
So there is a positive light at the end.
There's a positive, and it's not light at the tunnel. We have GDP per capita in Israel that is higher than Germany, Britain, and France.
Wow, learn new things every day.
Yeah, it is.
Well, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
I so appreciate you here. What are you speaking? Did you speak already today?
I spoke today, and I'm speaking tomorrow, and I'm moderating another session.
Oh, you are?
Also.
So tell me within 30 seconds, what are you speaking about?
I'm speaking about the soft war against Israel, which is part of my...
Ooh, I like this one. Too bad our audience is not present. They can't hear.
All right. We'll see. Some people will hear it, I guess. And I'm also moderating a session on the Israeli economy.
Oh, well, I look forward to attending. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Oh, of course, my new friend.
Okay, pleasure. Thank you.
Well, here at JNS, we are working here to ensure you get a little bit of a taste at home what is happening at this really amazing conference at the Waldorf in the heart of Jerusalem. Stay tuned for the next. See you soon.
Thank you very much.